Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. It is Tuesday. Tuesday means I've got you guys a deck for the advanced format. Today we are taking a look at a post-Alliance Insight deck for Metalmorph. So if you guys have been enjoying Metalmorph plays, the expansion of the archetype, today will be a video for you. That said, we sprinkled a little bit of tech in it. This should be like a 41 card deck and a 15 card extra deck. Let's just get it, okay? So first and foremost, I'm leaning into the whole, the red eyes kind of works with this. So we are going to be using 3 black metal dragons. We do have some plays in the extra deck that are going to help speed this along. 2 effects here. First, you can target a red eyes monster you control, except check and equip this from the hand or field to the target. That target will gain 600 attack. If this card would be sent from the field to the graveyard, you may add 1 Red Eyes card from the deck to the hand except Chick. Now, there are a couple cards that deal with Red Eyes with being Metalmorph. So this is kind of like a self-explanatory, we're going to play this type card. Next up, since I am going to be playing something that searches, as well as playing Red Eyes, I'm going to be looking at playing my boy Dragoon. So as long as we're looking at playing Dragoon, we're going to be talking 2 Dark Magician and 2 Red Eyes B. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is going to be a great card. Big counters. It's fun to play. Black Dragon is going to help get us into our Red Eyes fusions. We'll talk about that later in the spells. Simple. 1 copy of Red Eyes Black Full Metal. And again, Red Eyes card. So it's searchable. Cannot be normal summoned or said, must be summoned with max Metalmorph that was activated by tributing a level 5 or higher dragon. You can reveal this from the hand, set 1 Metalmorph from the deck, and if you do, shuffle this back to deck. When your opponent activates a card or an effect, as a quick effect, negates and inflict damage to the opponent equal to the original attack of 1 monster that they control. Use each of these effects once per turn. Again, he's a big, bulky 3400, so he's big dragon, pretty cool. Actually, he's a machine. But you know what I mean. He's a dragon in name. Next up, and again, sorry we had to toss one around. We're going to be using 2 copies of the Red Eyes Metal Claws Dragon. Again, this is the new card. This is the Alliance Insights progression of this. This effect says you can activate Metalmorph traps the turn they are set. So again, obviously you want to double up on this. It is a level 7. It is worth noting. You can send 1 face-down card you control to the graveyard to special summon this from the hand. Quickly boards itself. If this card is normal or special summoned and you have max Metalmorph in the field or graveyard, you can add 1 Metalmorph trap from the deck or graveyard back to the hand. So again, it's a good thing. It sets up a lot of plays. It does not have to insist on itself. 2 is a very good count in this deck, and I saw it enough. Additionally, I'll be playing 2 copies of the Metal Flame Swordsman again. So the way that you play this cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be first special summoned with max Metalmorph that was activated by tributing a level 5 or higher warrior monster. You may reveal this in the hand. Again, add 1 Met card that mentions Metalmorph from the deck. Mentions max Metalmorph from the deck to the hand except same name. And if you do, shuffle this back into the deck. Reread that. That mentions max Metalmorph from your deck to the hand. This could be any of the other cards that are the metal monsters. So again, it's a very good tutor. This is one I might actually bump up to 3 later just because of that effect. If you do, you shuffle this back into the deck. Use this effect only once per turn. Each time the opponent activates a card or effect, this card gains 300 attack and inflicts 500 damage to the opponent when the effect resolves. So again, it does gain permanent power-ups, as well as doing some spiteful burn damage, which again makes it a little harder for your opponents to do their thing. If I move him to 3, this is probably the card that'll move down to 2, will be my Metal Illusionist. Right now we're running 3 copies. Increase this card's level by 4 during the opponent's turn. You can use each of the following effects once per turn. If it's normal or special summoned, set a Metalmorph trap from the deck. Then if max Metalmorph is in your graveyard, you can draw a card. You can declare 1 other creature type. This card will become that type until the end of the opponent's turn. This is the main catalyst. So you turn it into a machine, you turn it into a warrior, you go into the Metal Flame. turn it into a dragon, you can go into the Red Eyes Full Metal Dragon. If you go into Fiend, you can go off of the next one, which is our Metal Zoa X. Again, cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be summoned with a max Metamorph that was activated by attributing a level 5 or higher Fiend. You may reveal this from the hand to set a Metalmorph trap from the deck. If you do, shuffle this back in. You can only use this effect once per turn, twice per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect, monster effect, or a spell, card, or effect. Quick play effect. Target a monster your opponent controls, destroy said card. So a little more on like the, Ghost Ogre effect, as opposed to a full negation. But again, it's very explosive. You get up to 2 disruptions per turn. So it makes it a very solid 1-of. And then, of course, because it is who it is, we're going to be playing 2 copies Zoa the Fiendish Beast, which I think I'm obligated to point out is also a 7-star and very common, very easy to get your hands on. The way this guy works, if your opponent controls a monster, you can normal summon this without a tribute. Awesome. You can only use each of the following once per turn. If this card is in your hand, special summon in defense. Then if Max Metamorph is not in your graveyard, and your opponent can special summon 1 monster from their hand, which is fine. It's basically like saying if you didn't have the Metamorph, then they get something for it. It's very Gilosaurus, if you guys remember your old cards. But if you have the Max Metamorph in your graveyard, they don't get a chance. And then, of course, during the main phase, you can set a Max Metamorph from the deck by this card's effect. So again, this guy would be searchable off the Metal Flame as well, since it does mention it. Which is another reason why I might be inverting some counts here later. This might go up to 3, this might go down to 2. Now, going to tech stuff, I think these 2 cards are going to be pretty self-explanatory. We're going to be using Druisworm, as well as Magnemite. Again, this is good stuff. We pulled these out of Mega 1023 stuff. Good cards. They're on the limit list for a reason. Kind of blowing through some of the rest of this. 3 Ash Blossom, because again, it is the most generic interrupt. And because it gives us some draw power, we're going to be talking 3 Molcharmy Fualos. So again, kind of cool. Moving into spells, we are going to use the Called by the Grave. Again, this is pretty tech. Everybody pretty much knows this. This is going to help us get through stuff. The Incoming Machine, we're going to be playing 3 copies of this. What it does, you tutor, you add 1 monster dimensions, Max Metalmorph, or 1 Metalmorph trap card from the deck or the graveyard to the hand. So we can recycle it either. If you control a Metalmorph trap, you can banish this card from the graveyard. Then target a defense monster the opponent currently controls, change it to attack mode. Again, this is a little here, not really there. Sometimes you're going to pull a monster into a weaker position so we can deal some damage. Again, Red Eyes Fusion. You're going to have to be careful the way that we use this time, since you're going to be using this normally and not through Predator Anaconda, which is like one of the last times I used it. Fusion summon a fusion monster list Red Eyes as material, using cards from hand, deck, or field as material, and if you do, its name becomes Red Eyes Black Dragon. You can normal summon or special summon other monsters during the turn you activate this, and you can only activate 1 of these per turn. So again, you're going to tutor this off of the black metal. And then on a turn where you don't see you progressing the state too much, you're going to go ahead, fuse into your Dragoon, get that play out there real quick, and just be fine. We're also going to be playing the single copy talent, because again, it's a good card for a reason. And then we're going to move over to traps. So I'm only going to really explain the 3 that need to be explained. We're going to run them as a 2-2-1. We're going to run 2 copies of each of the Metalmorphs. We're going to talk Flame Coat first. So tribute a face-up monster that mentions Max Metalmorph. Special summon a monster that can only normal summoned or set that mentions Max Metalmorph, ignoring the conditions. Because this is not Max Metalmorph, but it's going to work like it. Then equip this card to that monster with the following effect. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send this instead. So this one is a level of protection, which immunities are always good. You're going to run 2 base max Metalmorph. Tribute a monster that cannot be normal summoned or set that mentions max Metalmorph from the hand, deck, or grave. Then equip this card to it with the following effect. The equipped monster gains 400 attack and defense, cannot be destroyed by spell or monster effects, and the opponent cannot target it with the effects of spells, spell cards, or effects, or monster effects. So again, it's a different type of protection, but it's important to note that you can't have both. Last up, the 1 is the Time Engine. This was like the redo of Time Machine. It is always considered to be a Metalmorph card. This way it makes it searchable. It's part of the archetype. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle or by an opponent's card effect, target one of those. Special summon it. Then if you special summon a level 5 or higher machine by this effect, and have a Metalmorph trap on your side of the field or in your graveyard, except this card, apply the following. Destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible. Then inflict damage to the opponent equal to the special summon monster's original attack. Obviously, the best play is to do this with the Red Eyes Black Full Metal up here, because he's at like 38, which is a crazy chunk of hit points to take. Just is what it is. And then moving off into the last one, it's Impermanence. So again, got some cool stuff in here. I do think it is needed that you need to know that the Bystials are going to be 6s, so they're not going to play into the whole 7s theme. We do have this whole thing for 7s here in a second. This is the main deck. Like it or love it. Again, invert maybe the maybe invert your Illusionists and your Flame Swordsmen just because it does help. And I'm going to leave that like this. Pause notes, pause screenshot, do what you do. I'll be right back with the extra deck in a moment. All right, and we're back. So, 15 cards in the extra deck, all of them pretty relevant. First one, only fusion card. We're going to run single copy Dragoon. This is D-Mage plus Red Eyes or any other Dragon Effect monster. So again, we get a couple of them. We can do this. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. Neither player can target this with card effects. During the main phase, you can destroy one monster your opponent controls, and if you do, inflict damage equal to the opponent's original attack. You can use this a number of times equal to the number of normal monsters used as material, which again could be up to 2 times. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, discard 1 card, negate the activation. If you do, destroy the card, and if you were able to destroy the card as well, this card gains a permanent 1000 attack. This dude is totally a boss monster, and again, it's one of those things. It's like, why do I play 2 Red Eyes Fusion knowing the other one's going to block my hand? Because it's discard fodder for the negate. Why do we play so many 7s? Because we're going to rank 7 today. We're going to do it 4 different ways. I'm going to start with Dark Armed, the Dragon of Annihilation. So this is 2 or more 7-star monsters once per turn. If I have exactly 5, however, dark monsters in my graveyard, possible in this deck, I can also choose to exceed this using 1 level 5 or higher Dark Dragon I control as the material. You can detach 1 material from this card, target 1 card the opponent controls, destroy that, then banish 1 card from our own graveyard. We cannot attack for the remainder of the turn with this card if we use this effect. However, that said, he's a cool dragon. We're going to use him. Okay? Next up, we're going to grab the Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. Now, it's not because the tokens are exceptionally good at helping us with the link summoning. We're actually just going to full into the effect here. So 2 level 7s. Once per turn, detach material. Special summon 2 Phantom Beast tokens. Now, they cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. That's cool. Or sorry, no. While we control the tokens, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, which is fine. The tributes, however, can be used for our Dark Magician or the Red Eyes if we need to. Once per turn, you contribute 1 of those tokens. Target a card on the field, destroy the target. This card cannot attack during the turn that you activate this effect. So again, Draco Sack can create tokens to destroy stuff. It is fine. We contribute with him. That's fine. Plus, he's really cool. He's very old school meta. Next up, number 11, Big Eye. Big Eye is again going to be 2 7s. It can detach material to take a monster the opponent controls. And then this card cannot attack the turn that we activate it. Now, that said, the take is permanent. It's not till the end of the turn, as well as us being able to attack with that new card. So that's fine too. And then last but not least, I got the Red Eyes Flare Metal. I figured since I think it was the Flame Swordsman was already doing some burn, we ought to get this guy in here for some burn as well. 2 7s cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has material. While this card has Xyz material, each time the opponent activates a card or effect, inflict 500 damage on resolution. Once per turn during either player's turn, we can detach Xyz material from this, target a Red Eyes normal monster in the graveyard, and special summon it. Which means we could detach the Red Eyes Black Dragon to play the Red Eyes Black Dragon and further shore up our offense, which is cool, or go into another one of these Xyz, or whatever it is that you guys want to do. That said, we're also going to carry Zeus with us because, again, good Xyz plays determine that. And because we were able to pull it, we're going to be playing the Star Slayer Typhon as well. Kind of silly not to have that card if you have it in your arsenal. Moving to the links, however, we've got some cool plays here. We got Access Code Talker. You guys know all about this guy. I don't need to say anything here. Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. Awesome card because we have so many level 7 or higher. We can also stack the additional effects. The opponent cannot target this guy with card effects, cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. So basically it has to be beaten in battle or banished or something like that. As long as it isn't like a generic. And then, of course, you get all those other big game effects. Dark is going to help us. And hear me out. Those Draco Sack tokens. Those might cramp your style. How better to search than to take a Draco Sack token and a Black Metal Dragon, link them off, since we can do this because it's a dark plus another monster. It doesn't specify no tokens. And we can go ahead and we can do that. Clearing up the field, get the Draco Sack effect off on the other one, whatever. Well, now we're into a link 2. We got this girl. Let's see what she's going to do for us outside of that. Target a dark monster in your opponent's graveyard. Again, dark is one of the more prevalent abilities or attributes used. Special summon it to a zone this points to. If this is destroyed by battle or is destroyed by an opponent's card effect while in its owner's monster zone, add 1 dark with 1500 or less defense from the deck to the hand. So it does give us a little bit of a search. 1500 or less defense will be your Metal Dragon. It will not be either flexing the LOB. Won't be any of those. That guy's just a skosh too big. Doesn't look like we're going to get too much help in the way of that. But we'll search out the Metal Dragon, which is kind of cool. Is what it is. Other generic stuff, we're going to use Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. It's a good quick out. Again, Metal Dragon lets us help get to that. Unicorn helps us spin cards while being nice and generic. Relinquished Anima is one of our better moves for one-offing the Black Metal Dragon, as well as being able to step up. We can go ahead, we can vacuum something by placing it into one of the extra zones, get the vacuum play going, and then do what we need to do. We can use SP Little Knight to some pretty good effect in this deck. And then Striker Dragon is my other out for the Black Metal Dragon. One thing I was also toying around with was if I got and wanted to make this a 42 card deck. Do you guys think I should add Red Eyes Darkness Dragon, the big dude, banish one, and then just start special summoning like crazy? Because I mean, once you go to Striker Dragon, there's no other real reason to play that except like to get the Metal Dragon to go from field to discard. You guys let me know what you would do there. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed this. This is the deck profile. So again, if we've done enough to make you guys go, that was cool. You know, support us, like, comment, sub, check out the second channel, Casual Duelist Gaming, if you're into D&D and stuff. And just go out and have a wonderful day, okay? See you probably tomorrow if I do the video game stuff. If not, I'll see you guys for the Throwback Thursday with the little Time Wizard. Till then, you guys have an excellent day. See you guys next time. Later.